Now let us start our next lesson, e-commerce and e-governance. In science syllabus, this is the sixth lesson, and in commerce, it is the fourth lesson. During this lockdown period, you have heard these words, e-commerce and e-governance, many times. In this lesson, we will study the concepts of e-commerce and e-governance more deeply. Now let us see what we are going to study in this chapter. First thing is the e-commerce. In that, concept, advantages, disadvantages, and types. After that, we will study the trade cycle, then various e-payment modes, various common forms of e-commerce, then EDI, e-governance details, and various security measures. Today, we will study e-commerce concept, its advantages, disadvantages, and e-commerce types, along with e-commerce trade cycle. Okay. Before starting the e-commerce, first of all, let us see what is the meaning of commerce. Commerce means trading, where we can buy something as well as we can sell something. Here in this picture, two examples are shown. First one is the barter system. You all are very familiar with this system. Exchange of goods is done under this barter system, and in the second part, cash is given for the goods. Okay, these are the common methods of the trading, and it is known as the commerce. Now let's see the meaning of e-commerce. E-commerce stands for electronic commerce. Whatever the transactions we are performing by using the electronic media over the internet, all that transactions are known as e-commerce. E-commerce can be defined as the process of buying and selling of goods or services using an electronic medium such as internet. E-commerce is nothing different than the commerce. Besides, it is having the electronic media for the transaction. Now let's see the difference in between the traditional commerce and e-commerce. Traditional commerce means whatever the businesses we are performing, whatever the purchases we are doing in our at our local stage, that is traditional commerce, and whatever the products we are purchasing or selling using the internet or electronic media, that is e-commerce. First difference, traditional commerce is completely manual. As here we are exchanging some products and services through personal interaction. We can see it physically and then purchase it. But in e-commerce, everything happens automatically. Here trading activities are online through the internet, and everything processes through the electronic media. Then second difference, traditional commerce is limited to business hours, mostly during the day. Now in this lockdown period, you can see that all shops are open only up to 5 p.m. That is the limited duration. But in e-commerce, all shops are open 24/7. That means we can shop at any time as per our convenience. Next one, as far the consumer interaction are concerned, traditional commerce provides face-to-face interaction. But in commerce, there is no face-to-face interaction. It is completely virtual interaction. Actually, what happens in face-to-face interaction, we can saw the reactions of the seller, and we can guess that if that product is good or not. But here in virtual, we cannot see the face of the seller, and due to the virtuality, we have to purchase it in the electronic media. Next one is the traditional commerce is limited to the particular geographical location. That means some shops are limited only in the Nasik road area, some are only in Nasik area. That is known as the limited geographical location. But in e-commerce, as it is global, it has no physical limitations. It is spread all over the world. Therefore, we can say that traditional commerce scope is local and e-commerce scope is global. Means what? Traditional commerce is limited only for the local area and e-commerce is available globally. Then next one, modes of modes of payment in traditional commerce includes cash, checks, and credit cards. But in e-commerce, bank transfer, credit card, e-wallet, mobile payment, and many more other payment systems are used. We will study in detail about this in next few lectures. And last difference is we can see all the goods personally in traditional commerce, and we can get the delivery of goods and services instantly. But in e-commerce, we cannot see any good or any product physically, and sometimes that services takes some more time to deliver that items. These are the basic differences in between the traditional commerce and e-commerce. Through these differences, you can easily guess that e-commerce is much more better than the traditional commerce. Therefore, let us study some more advantages of the e-commerce. First advantage is the global scope. Just we have seen that e-commerce is global. It is not having any physical or geographical restrictions. Therefore, there is no problem of material availability in the market. Second one is the electronic transaction. Here payment can be done through the electronic media. It is mostly paperless system. This electronic transaction reduces paperwork. Payment can be done online or through credit card. No need to carry cash. Also smart card, debit card, and electronic fund transfer via bank websites can be used in this electronic transaction. And we can also use various other modes to transfer the money from one person to another person. Then third advantage is the cost saving. E-commerce applications provides users with more options to compare and select the cheaper and better option. Therefore, it helps in reducing the cost of searching the product. E-commerce has enabled rural areas to access services and products which are otherwise not available to them. That means in rural area, e-commerce is most advantageous. The next one is the anytime shopping. In our difference, we have seen that e-commerce is available 24/7. Therefore, anytime shopping is one of the great advantage for the users. That is the convenience. A consumer can shop 24/7. The website is functional at all times and does not having working hours limited like a physical shop. Next one is the no intermediary. It provides the benefits of quick communication and transaction as both parties communicate directly with each other. Its best example is if you are purchasing any house, then you can directly communicate with that owner without any intermediary. And last advantage is the public services. Now, during this lockdown period, you have faced many problems, just like servicing of your fridge, servicing of AC, like that. For that, you may ask some companies like the Urban Club, where we can call that person to complete our task, and that persons will fulfill our requirement. There are many advantages of e-commerce besides these 6, but these are the 6 main important advantages. Now let's see the disadvantages of e-commerce. First one is the setup cost. Setup of softwares, hardware, network, training cost of employees, constant maintenance, and continuous updation of websites or apps are very expensive. Therefore, it becomes very tedious to maintain the website properly. The second one is the physical presence. You cannot check anything personally through the touch. For example, if you are purchasing any dress, that time you cannot touch it physically and cannot check its quality. Third one is security. It is another area of concern. For example, credit card theft. When you make a payment through credit card, there is a chance of hacking your credit card information, and you can lose your complete account money. Therefore, security is one of the greatest measure in the disadvantages of e-commerce. And last disadvantage is goods delivery. Goods delivery may be late, it may be damaged, or it may be wrong delivered. It makes the customer unhappy. These are some of the disadvantages of e-commerce. Now, next topic is types of e-commerce. Depending upon buyer and seller, e-commerce is classified as 4x4, that is into 16 types, which include business, consumer, government, and peer transactions. But here in this lesson, mainly we are going to study B2B, B2C, C2B, and C2C. These 4 methods we have to study. Let's see this. First one is the B2B, that is business. First one is the B2C, that is business to consumer model. This B stands for business and this C stands for consumer. This B2C model having business and individual consumer. Here in this figure, business is shown and here consumer is shown. This business, whatever the products they are producing, their products, that business will launch their product details on the internet. This consumer will access their product information, and if satisfied, then places the order for the product. Then that business receives the order, processes and dispatches that product to the consumer. This is the processing of B2C, that is business to consumer. You all are familiar with its website examples. Best example is Amazon.com, then Flipkart.com, Snapdeal.com, and 123India.com. All these are the examples of B2C. Then next type is B2B, that is business to business model. Here, buyers and sellers are both business entities and do not involve any individual consumer. For example, if Dell company sells computers and other related accessories online, but it does not manufacture all that products. Okay, now let's see the example of this B2B. Here one business is shown, here another business is shown. This business will launch its details on the internet. This business will access it if having positive about all that products, then we'll place the order and this business will process it and dispatch the product. This is the processing of the B2B. And its example are Tata Network Provider or all network provider companies are the examples of B2B business model. Next one is the IndiaMart.com. Third one is the AuctionIndia.com. Next one is the CommodityIndia.com and MetalJunction.com. Then third type is C2C, that is consumer to consumer. Here, online transaction of goods or services between two consumers. No business is included. For example, online auction, then advertisement of the personal services, then selling of knowledge and expertise online, just like webinars, consultations, and online coaching. Here also same processes as B2B and B2C. Here seller will launch their product details over internet. Another consumer will check out it. Again, requirement completes, they places the order and first seller will complete that order. Its best example is OLX.in, eBay.in, Quicker and 99acres.com. And the last type is the consumer to business, that is C2B model. Here one consumer is included with another business. For example, online trading, tenders, individual selling their services to the businesses. These are the examples of C2B. Also, best example is comparison of various mobile features and prices online. If you have to purchase the mobile, then you can just compare different mobiles for the features as well as its prices online. In this picture, you can see the working of C2B, that is consumer to business. Consumer produce shows their details on website and business can access it. Its website examples are elance.com, bazi.com, priceline.com and guru.com. Okay, these are the 4 types of e-commerce: B2B, B2C, C2C and C2B. The next one is the trade cycle. Trade cycle is the series of exchanges between the consumer or supplier. It consists of 4 phases. First phase is the pre-sale, second phase is the execution, third phase is the settlement, and fourth phase is the after sales. Now this first phase, pre-sale, having the 2 steps, search and negotiate. When any supplier or any person want to start the business, that time he has to search that which product he should start the production of which product. For that search process is going on. Then after he decides that which things production will be should he start, then he will search for the raw material supplier, he will negotiate it, and after that he will move to the further step, that is the execution phase. Under this execution phase, order and delivery steps will include. He will order for the raw material, he will receive the delivery of that raw material. Then under the settlement phase, he will provide the invoice of the material and will provide the payment if it is online method or after sales or after goods delivery method. That is the settlement. And in fourth phase, that is after sales, warranty and after sales services is included in here. That means if you have purchased any laptop or washing machine or fridge, anything else, then whatever the warranty periods is provided, that will be included under these after sales services. Here you can see that all the steps are forwarded or carried out one by one. This process is continuous if that specific person want to continue their production as it is. But in case if some person want to change the order, then he can again provide the different order or can changes in his order pattern. Want to change the supplier of the raw material, then he can again negotiate with that supplier or can search for the another supplier. And if want to change the production, that time he has to start from the first step, that is the search. It is known as EDI, that is electronic data interchange. This is nothing but the trade cycle. For this trade cycle, you have to remember this figure only. Through this figure, you can answer any question. Okay. Now, let's stop here today. Today's exercise, you have to define e-commerce and write down the advantages and disadvantages of the e-commerce. You have to write down the difference in between the traditional commerce and the e-commerce. And third question, you have to write the types of e-commerce and explain them with the example websites. And fourth question, you have to explain the trade cycle. Okay, got it? Let's stop here and complete your homework, your exercises as fast as you can and upload it on the